welcome to Love Every Moment, coming to you today from Monroeville, New Jersey. Today's verse is Matthew 6:19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. And this comes after the three great examples that Jesus gives of people who are trying to grab the glory for themselves, the glory of man rather than the glory of God. And that was in giving and in prayer and in fasting. And now he goes on to this new topic, but it sort of follows right after about seeking God's glory instead of man's glory. This is again giving a negative example of seeking, in a sense, man's glory, or what man thinks is glorious, which is treasures on earth. So let's look at a really nice cross-reference where Jesus explains this a little bit better than I do. In Luke 12:16, he gives this parable. He told him a parable saying, the land of a rich man was very productive. And he began reasoning to himself, saying, what shall I do, since I have no place to store my crops? Then he said, this is what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have many goods laid up for many years to come. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your soul is required of you. And now who will own what you have prepared? So is the man who stores up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. Now, this doesn't say that we shouldn't do any financial planning at all. It doesn't say anything like you should never insure your stuff or things like that. In fact, the Bible has other examples where we should do some financial planning and be wise with our money and so forth, especially in Proverbs. Remember, it's not money that's the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And this is showing someone who has the love of money. So, on that note, by the way, this is a motorhome, for example. I have to think of this when I give everything to God, say, you can have everything, including this, then he can have it if he wants. So what am I doing here, and should I take care of it? Well, of course. What I'm basically doing, and what we're all doing as Christians, is essentially house sitting. This is God's house, right here, and I'm just occupying it, keeping it clean, keeping it insured, repairing things, and so forth for him. And if he wants it back at some point, then he gets it back, and I'll move to a different place, and he's got that all in mind. I'm a steward of this house, keeping care of it for him. So in that sense, I'm doing the right things, but not for me, not storing it up for me. This is not my treasure, it's his treasure. So back to our main verse. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy, where thieves break in and steal. Interesting that nature has a way of destroying our stuff. It's as if God set it up for us not to depend on it. It's interesting to see, for example, a tornado comes, destroys a place, then here come the news crews, and you'll see two different examples. One will be someone weeping, oh, we've lost everything. But another will be someone who says, well, at least we have each other. And that's a more Christian example of letting go of the things of the earth, okay? Also, it says where thieves break in and steal. Yeah, it's true. There's going to be bad people who will try to destroy our stuff, to steal our stuff, take it away in a lawsuit or some other thing. That's why we should not hang on to the things of the earth. We should instead put our treasure into God and in his bank of love. That's where we're going to get the real treasure, because if we love every moment, we're gonna love every moment. And I'm your average wretch, and I sure hope you have a great week.